Hey guys, how's it going? On today's video, we are going to run a new power wire for the E30, and we're going to also use these awesome Radlok connectors. This kit, because you can buy them all individually, but if you want to buy them as a kit with this rubber grommet right there, you can find them at Maven Performance. Not sponsored. Very cool product that allows you to basically a bulkhead for the firewall, and then allows you to pull it off into a little section like that. Both sides are removable. Certain wire sizes you're able to do both sides. Sometimes you can only do one side and the other one is a screw side, or like threads, and then you have to put a nut. This is the 0 gauge, which does allow for both ends to come off, and then I also got a 8 gauge for the other one. Because I guess I should probably find a factory. Let's find a factory power wire. Here we go. Factory E30 power wire that goes from the front all the way to the back. We're changing it up a little bit because I deleted it, or at least deleted where that's coming out of. So if you guys are interested in a shave bay kit, rageitparts.com. But here's the factory one, where you can see you have your 8 gauge on top and you have a 0 gauge on the bottom. So went ahead and already routed a new 0 gauge and 8 gauge wire, which we are running all the way there. I will then run up and across, and then we are going to come out. Turn the flash on. We are going to come out right there to keep everything nice and tucked. So right there will be where the bulkheads go. And then obviously, so we need a drill, and we'll drill from the other side, and it'll go underneath or just above the steering column. So what we have to do is, obviously you got to get some 0 gauge wire, run that to the front. Same with the 8 gauge. We will need to crimp these. We will need to drill. And then I do also want to be able to have some accessories. So I believe this is like 8 to 10 gauge quick disconnects that comes with pins that I'm going to add to here. Let's say on the inside, our 0 gauge wire, we also need to splice in the wire that runs to the fuse box, which I'll show you on another car. So you have these 2 wires usually coming off your fuse box. We went ahead and deleted ABS, so that took away one of these main wires, so we no longer need that. So we just have the 1 wire going to the fuse box. And then on the engine harness side, there are a few wires that need to run from the top of it. So that 8 gauge wire, 1 wire runs to the fuses in the engine harness, and then the rest of them run to the main power wire, which we will need to do on the 0 gauge wire. So that's once we get to the chassis side, or the engine harness side, and we'll just end up cutting up this right here, which is your factory power wire from your starter to the block up top. I'll also add a picture in for reference of a completed distribution block and how that looks. So we're going to go ahead and start by crimping these. I tried out this because I had a extra one of these that arrived damaged, and let's see if I can find that wire. So this one came damaged. You can see the back came apart, but you could see it kind of just pinched it. So you can see right there, it just the problem with the jaws is when you close it, the bottom closes first and then the top, so it allows material to squeeze up past it. So I went to Harbor Freight and picked up one of these to hopefully pinch it from both sides, and it'd be good. So although this wire, this is a lot bigger than just that. So We'll see how that goes. But all right, so what we're gonna need to do is we're gonna cut the fuse box wire in half. That wire will, one half will go into here, the other half will go into this quick disconnect, and then that will be one wire, because we want to be able to disconnect our fuse box from the main power if we have to remove it for some reason, or it just needs to be disconnected. That's the easiest way to separate the two. So I'm going to get to cutting, and then we will get to crimping. All right, so I got these 2 pins crimped. As you can see, I did use this twice, so I did one crimp at the top and another crimp at the bottom. You can see it did kind of twist them a little bit, so a little crooked now, but should be fine. So these will be the 2 that come out of here. So they'll go with the 0 gauge. It is going to be a super tight fit to get it all in there, but I want to have 2 extra options for extra power if needed to, if I need to get something directly to the main there. So let's go send it with the crimp. I don't know, as you could see, it kind of, even for the smaller wire, it did the same thing, and I have a feeling that this is going to do probably the same thing as that with the little extra flare. I ended up continuing to crimp that one wire. I don't know how I always lose it. So I did a little bit of a crimp without any wire, and you could see it was definitely still pushing out. I'm not sure if that'll be a little different because there'll be something in the center, so it won't push out as much. So I guess we can just hope. But I'm going to go ahead and we're going to strip the back of these wires. We'll strip the 0 gauge wire, and then cross our fingers and hope it turns out all good. I was watching another video, and the guy put a ferrule, one of these sleeves, on top of the wire before it went in. The first time I crimped this, I pulled the wire out, so I don't know if that was because of the ferrule not doing good or just a bad crimp. So I don't think I'm going to use one. I'd rather just crimp directly to the wire and not use the ferrule. So let's strip these and get this seated. Now, the only problem with this kit is I would probably go a little bit bigger than the 0 gauge if I had an option to go maybe the 2-aught, which is 00. If they had that option with this Harbor Freight kit, I probably would have went with the bigger crimp size and then closed it on there, but we will see how it goes. Don't judge too hard. I will go through and heat shrink and electrical tape this later. I actually went ahead and used the blue one, as the Harbor Freight one wasn't big enough to crimp this. So double crimped it like I did with the other wires with these. And yes, 0 gauge is probably only meant for 0 gauge, but I wanted to add a little bit more wire in there. So that's all added in. And again, like I said, I will wrap this a little bit and make sure those contacts, probably add some solder, just so that's all together. So those are my 2 extras right there. This is for the inside. I'm going to go ahead and just wrap this in electrical tape for right now. But that's not going anywhere. These do go pretty far up in here. And as you can see, the hole is covered in wire. So wire is nice and up there. I did leave a good amount of room extra since I did add these wires, which again, probably not the best idea, but I did it anyway. So you guys can tell me how bad I am in the comments down below. But that is that done. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it. There we go. Electrical tape, and then just for the video, I wanted to look somewhat decent, so went ahead and put some electrical tape on there, but kind of looks like a person. It's kind of funny. I'm going to add the 2 connectors to this side, which hopefully I left enough room on this one, and then we will go ahead and get it mounted. This is the new terminal I'm using for the power wire. So Right now I have the 0 gauge and the 8 gauge going to one single pin, but I'll probably switch it to the 0 gauge going to one, and then the 8 gauge going to the other one right there, since it's going to the same spot. But just like on the factory 8 gauge wire, there is a fusible link. This one is a 50 amp fusible link. I believe the factory one is also 50 amp or 30 amp, I forget. But either way, you want a fusible link near the head of the terminal. So make sure when you're making your wiring that you add that in, just like factory. All right, so that's where I am gonna put them. I wanted to put them right here, but then I forgot about the throttle pedal bar, so that didn't work. It is level, it just looks weird because of that line and because of how I'm holding the camera, but that one's good. Let's go ahead and finish the bottom one and finish with the crimps, and then we'll be done. There we go, those are the two bulkheads. So now what we do is take the Radlok, boop, and just like that. There is our power going through the firewall. Obviously grounds are easy because it's just the ground, and wherever you can find some bare metal, that's the way to do it. Now for the inside, so there's that, which is good. There we go, in place. There we go, a little bit better picture right there. We have our one, which will go across to our fuse box tuck, and then go like that, and then that'll wrap back around, and then we have the one that will go up and connect up here, and then we will bring all of the wire across and then back down to the back there. Let me go crimp the other one and we'll be good to go. Got the other side of the engine harness for the 8 gauge, 6 gauge wire. I forget which size, to be honest. So that one is crimped for the top one right there, the fusible link, which is power for the DME. I thought there was more than one of these on the engine harness, but I can't seem to find it. So one it is. Now we just have to do the main starter wire right here, and that will go to the power post right there. And there we go, final wire is crimped, a little shorty. Let's go ahead and install it, and then we will be ready to start it up, or at least power it up. As you can see, both are plugged in and ready to go. Oh. Same on the other side. So the next step, make sure all the grounds and everything are connected on the chassis harness, which if you saw the last video, they are. That's gonna be the end of today's video. In the next video, we will be powering up the whole system, cranking the motor, and seeing if everything is good. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.